Mr. Sergeant of Arms, invite the members into the chamber and close the doors. I hereby declare the House of Representatives of the 114th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee now in session. Would members please stand with the visitors in the gallery? Please stand and remain standing through the Pledge of Allegiance. Speaker Pro Tem Marsh will serve as chaplain of the day. Speaker Pro Tem Marsh, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please play with me. Dear God, thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed on all of us. Please give us wisdom, understanding, courage, and compassion to do your will in our daily work, and help us to make Tennessee the very best state in the nation. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Speaker Pro Tem Marsh leads in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Roll call.
Ms. Clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Speaker, 95 members present.
Let the journal reflect Representatives Bain, Darby, Fritz, and Scarborough are excused. Next order, Ms. Clerk.
Welcoming, honoring, and announcements.
Welcoming, honoring announcements. Anyone being recognized? Leader Lamberth, you're recognized.
Mr. Speaker and members, over the last week, our state has been hit with some of the worst weather that we've seen since 1994. We have had TDOT employees, we've had local road superintendents, we have had sheriffs, we have had volunteers, we have had linemen and frontline power employees that have been out there freezing almost to death, trying to make sure that their fellow Tennesseans do not freeze. And unfortunately, we still lost, at last count, 23 Tennesseans due to this storm. I stand today to remember those 23 Tennesseans and to also recognize all of our first responders, whether it be in law enforcement or medical or any type of first responders, but especially those linemen that were getting up there on those poles and handling the electrical needs of this state. And we are so very grateful for their service. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Spickey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, Wednesday, February 18th, the new Consul General from Israel will be coming to town. Eitan Weiss, he'll be speaking to the Israel-Tennessee caucus. You'll have more information coming out. Also, members, 836 days, the last hostage from October 7th has come home. Ron Gavili has come home. Israel has a policy that they leave nobody behind, and true to their word, they stayed steadfast. And now all the hostages are home. And now, members, since 2013, there are no Israeli hostages being held in Palestine. So a moment of silence for Ron Gavili and the other hostages. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we could take a moment of silence. Weakley County Sheriff's Deputy Derek Bonin was shot and killed Friday in the line of duty. Representative Darby is actually not with us tonight because he is at the funeral, but his mom and dad live in my district. I spoke to his father Saturday to give my condolences, really with limited words, because what do you tell someone who's lost a son in the line of duty? So if we could have a moment of silence for him and remember his family in our prayers, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Johnson.
Thank you. I want to recognize the amazing Knox County school students who organized an Ice Out rally last week to call for the safety of their schools from ICE interference, for the end of using children as bait, and for the end of detainment of children. They had over 1,000 students, teachers, and community members, and had volunteers and legal observers to ensure safety for everyone. It was 100% student organized. And so to see them have that kind of a crowd, have it so organized that they ensured everyone's safety was really something to see. And it was an honor for me to be able to join them. And I just want to thank our students for caring so deeply about their community.
Representative Salinas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to recognize all of the organizations that stepped up during our winter storm across Tennessee: the Tennessee Immigrant Rights Coalition, Feed Up, the Tennessee Equity Alliance, Free the 901, Memphis, the North Memphis Community Alliance, the Remix, and many more that stepped up to have our people fed, housed, and made sure that they were taken care of, including the immigrants that, despite the poor treatment that the state is having against them, also saw the humanity in their neighbors and stepped up to take care of everybody. Thank you.
Representative Chisholm.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've been critical before, but members, allow me to give a shout out to Memphis Light, Gas, and Water for all the work that they did, keeping the lights on and all the things that they did during this winter storm. I'm just really appreciative to be somebody from Memphis who have a group like MLGW doing all the work that they did. So members, help me give them a hand.
Representative McCalman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, to my left, I have two cousins that are recent transplants here in the great state of Tennessee, and they are thrilled to be here. My cousin Eddie Johnson and his wonderful wife, Marlinda. If you would make them feel welcome, as well as my beautiful wife to my right, Miss Rochelle McCalman, who has been putting up with me for 20 years. Honey, could you stand up? She's right up there. If y'all would make them feel welcome, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Parkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll keep this brief. Ties for Turns is this Thursday, so if you have ties, please bring them to bring them to 419, and it's happening Thursday, 7:30 a.m. We would love for everyone to come by. Breakfast will be served. Be a good time, great time to, show some love to the interns. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ties for Turns.
Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If I could get the body's attention, I just wanted to take the moment, as if last week wasn't tough enough for all of us. It was tougher for the friends and family and the community around Franklin County, Tennessee. We lost a real titan, Miss Betty Fraley. For those of you who were around for quite a while, you probably served with her husband, George Fraley. George was a force, but Betty was the real force. And we lost George a few years ago, Representative Fraley. And Betty Fraley taught in Franklin County High School and public schools for 30 years. And she gave her life to serving students in the state of Tennessee, serving her community and serving her Church of Christ down there. So I just want to ask everybody for a moment of silence to remember a great lady, Franklin County and born in Coffee County, Miss Betty Fraley. Thank you.
Representative Hemmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've had probably about the most surreal week I've had, especially since serving office last week with the storm and everything. And I definitely wanted to call out a number of people to thank. First is the folks at TEMA that have sat in the pit. I went and had a chance to visit with them yesterday. I talked to many, many individuals who had been there, slept overnight for more than 5 nights of the past week. And those are the people that are just dedicated public servants helping to get our communities back in line. I also want to call out, thank the many, many linemen who have been working to help us. And then lastly, the governor who held our call and called in the National Guard to help with vegetation management and whatnot in our communities to get us back in power. I hope we get that this week. I'm one of the many 25,000 without power here in Nashville, but we're keeping our heads down and going to get through it. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Pearson.
Thank you, Speaker. I want to wish everyone a happy Black History and Futures Month in recognition of the significant contributions of Black and African American people in our country for centuries. I also want to recognize the legislators from over 25 states who I had the opportunity to meet with in Minnesota, who are standing up against the tyrannical actions of our government, who are working on legislation and pushing policies that we know are going to be beneficial to protecting due process, the rule of law, and the people who we represent. And I think it is so important and imperative, as so many things continue to happen around our country, that we realize we have a responsibility to keep the dream, the hope, and the work of those who have come before us, protesting, marching, advocating, and speaking up alive. That is how we get to justice. That is how we make the vision that justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream the reality.
Representative Carringer at Scarborough's desk, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Knox County delegation stands here at this desk because this was the former desk of Charlie Severance, who graciously served District 16 for 10 years, and his wife Phyllis, that you all may know, they were very, very active in the Republican Party. He passed away on Friday, January 23rd. And he was best known for his legendary play for UT football, which was called The Stop. So all of y'all know what that was. And so I just wanted to take a moment of silence to recognize Charlie for all of his years of giving to District 16 and Phyllis's to our party, and to remember his kids. He was also an alumni of Central High School. And I grew up with his children a block away. So we have been friends for years, and just like for you all to remember them in these coming days. His services will be Saturday afternoon.
Thank you. Representative Jones of Davison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. We have an ICE problem. Since we last met, another American was killed by ICE, Alex Preddy. He was 36 years old, a nurse at the Veterans Affairs Office, and somebody who was out trying to protect his neighbors from the terror of ICE brutality. And he had nothing in his hand but a cell phone, but they're saying that he deserved to be killed because he had a gun. And it's the first time that I heard Republicans saying we don't believe in the Second Amendment. It's the first time that I heard Republicans, except my friend Jeremy Faison called it out, but the other Republicans said that we should not have guns at rallies. And I'm just trying to figure out, how do you come up with when it's okay to have guns? Is it only neo-Nazis who can have guns, or KKK? And then if you're somebody who believes in immigrant rights, you're not allowed to have guns. If you're brown, you're not allowed to have guns. I'm just trying to figure out how you come up with these things in your head, to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, because he was an American exercising his right, his First Amendment right, his Second Amendment right, and that's something that we should celebrate in this body, instead of trying to erase the rights of citizens from exercising the First and Second Amendment.
Representative White.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'd like to recognize two guests tonight. My daughter, Bonnie Osterhage, her husband, Mike Osterhage, right up here on the east side. They lived 30 years in San Antonio. They've moved back to Tennessee now and live down in Nolensville. I want to welcome them. Thank you.
Representative Renaud.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would just like to ask everyone to give a warm welcome to some Hamilton County residents and GOP leadership. Mark and Maria Wagner up here on the left galley.
Representative Powell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I too just wanted to take a moment here to think of all the people in Tennessee, particularly in my community in Nashville, that are still without power, that are still cold. Those children that haven't been able to go to school to get a meal, those elderly who are in desperate need of warmth. You know, today is Groundhog Day, but for many Tennesseans, this entire week has been Groundhog Day, because they've woken up each day without power and electricity. And for the leadership of NES, for so many I've heard, they are now wondering if it stands for no electricity service, because they are not getting the service they need. So let's do better and think about those people without power.
Representative Travis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I would like everyone to recognize one of the best LAs in the building, Cole Horner, and his very special guest, Lauren Womack. Would you please stand and let everybody see you?
Representative Vital.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'd like to recognize some special guests we have from Hamilton County tonight up in the gallery. First of all, I want to recognize our sheriff, Austin Garrett, and his wife, Pam. He does an enormously efficient job of providing law enforcement across our county, and we want to recognize him for that. Also, Stephen Carter and his wife, Misha, is the son and daughter-in-law of our former representative, Mike Carter, who I have the honor of representing that same district. Also, Arch and Catherine Trimble, our former GOP chairperson, and we welcome him back, along with Dalton Temple and my daughter, who just seems to enjoy coming up here. So thank you all, and appreciate welcoming him. Thank you.
Representative Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I have some special guests with me tonight. I can't think of the last time that I've had my wife and 2 kids with me, but they are here tonight. Up here to the right, I've got my wife, Jada, my son, Wilson, and my daughter, Blair Ellen, if you'll make them feel welcome.
Representative Jones of Unicoi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to welcome guests here from Unicoi and Carter County. If y'all would please stand, we have several that have traveled from East Tennessee to be here tonight. We have Bill and Ruth Gaines and Kristen Allen. We have Michael Baker, Town Alderman, Lisa Tipton, and Robin. We have JP Metcalf, who was an entrepreneur that lost his business in the flood. And we have Lee and Denise Brown, who is standing over there, who is with Irwin Utilities. And I appreciate them being here tonight. Thank you.
Representative Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my honor to, on behalf of Leader Lamberth and Chairman Slater, to welcome the Sumner County Party Chair, Baron Lowe, to my left. If you'll please recognize him. Thank you, Baron, for being here tonight. We appreciate you.
Representative Towns.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. And members, as had been said in some of the neck of the woods, just how bad it was. This weather was brutal, and it was death-defying. And I have to give my utility company a little shout out. MLG and W did a fantastic job this time, even to the point where they were able to send people to Nashville to help out. One of the little tricks is that they started about 1.5 years ago trimming trees back off the lines. It helped tremendously. Because ordinarily we'd have power out. If there's a bad rain or a good rain, we'd have a lot of power out. This time they did just a great job, and we're so grateful because you could lose your life in this weather. You really could. And however, I'd love to have a moment of silent prayer for the 6 that did lose their life in Shelby County. I know it's more than that across the state of Tennessee, but there were 6 in Shelby County because of the weather did not make it. Amen.
Thank you. That's your minute. Representative Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to welcome our intern this year. Chairman Wright and I get to share Amelia Haymaker. She's a junior at the University of Tennessee in political science, and she's in the Western Gallery. Amelia, where are you, girl? Oh. Thank you.
Representative Zachary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to take just a second. I want to thank our law enforcement. I want to thank those at the local level, those at the state level, and those at the federal level. Mr. Speaker, their job has been made significantly more difficult, and we got a report this weekend to prove that by those who are here illegally. And many of you have seen that report. There were 21,000 crimes committed by 11,000 illegal immigrants in this state in 2025. Unfortunately, 41 Tennesseans are no longer with us because of those who are here illegally. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank our law enforcement for the work they do to keep our state safe. And I want to thank our leadership and our GOP, both the House and the Senate, that is going to work to address this on behalf of all Tennesseans. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Dixie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask everyone for a moment of silence, and if you could rise. On Monday, I lost a mentor that helped me get into politics. His name was the Honorable Walter Hunt Sr. He was a member of the Metropolitan Council, and he represented District 3 for several years. And he was also a congressional assistant in Washington, D.C. to Bill Boner. Walter was 87 years old, but he was very instrumental in politics and local politics, and always there to be able to lend some advice, a lending hand, and always knew how to introduce you to the right people and showed me how to come early and leave late, make sure that you do what you're supposed to for your constituents. So I would like to ask everyone to keep him in your prayers, his wife, Kathy Hunt, and their family in your prayers during this time. For Walter Hunt Sr. So if we could just have a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Haston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, please help me welcome City Mayor from Lobelville, Robbie Moore, and his daughter, Sasha Moore, who are with us here tonight.
Representative Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to congratulate and thank Southwest Electric Cooperative in my area in West Tennessee, because they've done a fantastic job of maintaining their lines and trimming trees, and our power never even blinked, I don't believe. So, and we had ice and all kinds of stuff. So really appreciate the hard work they do year round to keep us in power. And also would ask members to welcome my county mayor and his wife, AJ Massey and Lauren, who are up here to my left. Appreciate them joining us tonight. Thank you.
Representative Littleton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like for y'all to welcome Commissioner Bobby Noe and his sweet wife from Cheatham County. And not only is he a commissioner, he drove the bus for Governor Lee during his campaign. So let's give them a nice welcome.
Representative Alexander.
Thank you, Speaker. I'd like to welcome the mayor of the oldest town in Tennessee, Kelly Wolf, and his wife, Jennifer, here tonight with us, along with my husband and Dr. Nolan's wife, President of ETSU's wife, out in the foyer. So welcome. We're glad you're here.
Representative Moon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to say thank you to the Tennessee National Guard that were activated to help here in Memphis and across our state, as well as thank Governor Lee for his executive order to allow TDOT to go into city and county roads. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Representative Sparks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, just want to give a shout out to my father-in-law, who was a lineman for NES for many years. As we all know, those guys work hard. I remember him getting up at 1 in the morning, 3 in the morning while I was dating his beautiful daughter. Remember hearing stories of him seeing people lose their life as linemen. 23,702 folks who were still without electricity with NES, if I'm not mistaken. But I want y'all to know the greatest electric company in the nation is probably Middle Tennessee Electric. So y'all give it up for my linemen and Middle Tennessee Electric.
Representative Rutter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like for everyone to help me welcome the mayor of Winchester, Mr. Sean Crabtree, and his wife, Jenny.
Representative Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to welcome my wife of Tracy here of 38 years as she came down from East Tennessee to be with us tonight. So give her a welcome. Thank you.
All righty. I think that covers everybody, I believe. If you didn't get covered, it's a bonus. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Introduction to resolutions.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That all resolutions properly filed be introduced pursuant to Rule number 17 and placed on the consent calendar referred to the appropriate standing committee.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
City Joint Resolutions Congratulatory Memorializing.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That all Senate joint resolution congratulatory memorializing and allowing that be placed on the consent calendar pursuant to Rule number 17.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Resolutions lying over.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That all resolutions line over be referred to the appropriate standing committee.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Introduction to bills.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That House Bills 1,884 through 2,087 be introduced and passed on first consideration.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Senate bills on first consideration, Senate bills on second consideration, House bills on second consideration.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That House Bills 1,782 through 1,883 be passed on second consideration and be held on the desk and referred to the appropriate standing committee.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Petitions and memorials, reports from standing committees, reports from select committees, calendars, unfinished business.
Unfinished business. We have a few, so just bear with us. I got you. We'll go in order. Representative Powell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 2002 from the committee in the House.
Heard the motion. Any objection? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Parkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 1808, House Bill 2040, and House Bill 2042 from the committee in the House.
Heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Dixie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 1545 from the committee in the House.
Heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 1854 from the committee in the House.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Hakeem, you're recognized. Hakeem, there we are.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 1726 from the committee in the House.
You heard the motion. Any objection? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Bricken.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Ms. Bricken, we need the microphone over there, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 928 from the committee in the House.
You heard the motion. Any objection? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Martin of Hamilton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 1876 and 1877 from the committee in the House.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Langford, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 1988 from committee in the House.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Jones of Unicoi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw HJR 749 from the committee in the House.
Heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Atchley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw HB 1541 from the committee in the House.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Raper, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 1701 from the committee in the House.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Gillespie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw HB 1483 and 1445 from the committee in the House.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Hardaway.
Thank you, Speaker Sexton. I move to withdraw House Bill 2293 from the committee in the House.
You heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 2033 from the committee in the House.
Heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Todd, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 2067 from the committee in the House.
You heard the motion. Any objection? Without objection, so ordered. Leader Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. After consulting with the minority leader, I move that the four calendars that were set for January 28th be heard on Wednesday, February the 4th.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Leader Lamberth, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Move that House Bill 447 be heard in the Department and Agency Subcommittee this week.
For the motion, any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Scheduling and procedural announcements.
Schedule and procedural announcement, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, the bill filing deadline for the House is tomorrow at 3 p.m. That's tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. One last announcement. All those who are in the balcony tonight, thank you all for coming. We appreciate your attendance. I will say, please refrain from being an active participant because that will have you removed from the House. So continue to watch. We appreciate you being here, but please be respectful of the proceedings. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Roll call.
Roll call. Ms. Clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Speaker, 95 members present.
Next order, Mr. Clerk.
That completes the regular order, Mr. Speaker.
Leader Cochran, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to HJR 742, I move that the House stand in a brief recess to join the Senate in joint convention to hear Governor Lee's State of the State address, at the conclusion of which the House stand in recess until 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026.
Without objection, the House stands in recess till 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026.